Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making cranberry orange scones.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
It's a beautiful morning. We've got snow. It's freezing cold outside, so I thought I'd make some beautiful, delicious cranberry orange scones. They're super easy. They take about 20 minutes to make, so let's get started. We need 2 cups of flour and a little bit of sugar, so let's get those out of my drawers. Oh, wow. New year needs new flour.
I need some inventory there.
I have 2 cups of flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and we're gonna zest this orange. So one of my favorite tools is a microplane. Make sure you wash your fruit before you zest, and I just sit and go over it. We want about a tablespoon. If you want more, you can certainly add more. I'll probably do the whole thing. A lot of people do it this way, but I feel like I have more control when I have the sharp implement in my hand. You just want to get the orange off. You don't want to get down to the pith and the white, because that's the bitter part. All right, that looks about right. We're gonna eat this later, and I'm gonna use orange juice in it too, so that orange is definitely not gonna go to waste. All right, so I kinda work that into my flour a little. We're gonna cut some butter in here in a second too. So let's get the rest of our dry ingredients in. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of soda, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we're gonna get some butter. It's super important to keep this cold. That's why I just pulled it out of the fridge. And we need 1/3 cup, so I'm just going to cut it at 1/3. Save that for later. I'm gonna put this into little cubes. It makes it way easier to work into your flour mixture. Doesn't it smell so good? Orange and cranberry in the winter is just delightful. We got snow on the ground, it's freezing cold, so might as well have a delicious hot scone this morning. All right, this is how you get your arm workout in. Just want to blend the butter in until it's coarse crumbs. Okay, that looks really good. So you can see it's pretty just crummy in the best way possible. Okay, so I have 1 egg here. We're going to scramble that up a little. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of orange juice, and this is just what I had in the fridge. If you want to, you can juice this orange, but we're going to eat it. So blend that in, and then we also need a 1/4 cup of 1/2 and 1/2. I'm gonna leave that out because we're gonna need that for the top of the scones as well. I put it all in here. Get this incorporated. Woo! Make a mess. Dump it in here. Okay, when you get to this point, you want to add a cup of cranberries. These are just dried cranberries. It is the whole jar. Okay, when it gets to this raggy stage that I call it, I'm gonna grab actually a little flour out of my drawer. I'm gonna just knead it a little with my hand. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to turn the oven on.
Uh-oh.
We need to do that right this second. We want it at 400 degrees. We really should have done that first because you want to keep this dough cold before you put it in the oven. All right, so I've kind of got it mixed together. I'm gonna take a little flour. We're just gonna dump it right out. We're gonna knead it just a little. I mean, really, really tenderly. You kind of want to just get it so it holds together. And if the little cranberries fall out, just squish them back in. So I think you want about an 8-inch circle, and you probably want it at least a fat inch deep or high. Pat all that goodness in. Then I got my bench scrape, and we're just gonna divide it. You can divide it into 6 or 8, however many, and if you wanna make them smaller, you can divide this into 2 rounds. For today, should we do 6, 8? 8, okay. And you're gonna run into the cranberries, but see if you can't just bust through them. Okay. So if you have pieces of dough like this, you can squish it into it, or you can just leave it out. This one I think I can tuck on the bottom. Okay, and then I have a parchmented cookie sheet. We're just gonna lay them on there. I like to separate mine out. A lot of people cook it just like this, but I like mine separated out. Oh, these smell so good. Okay, let's get this cleaned up here quick. All right, now I'm gonna grab a little bit of cream, and we're gonna brush the top with cream so that they brown really nice. All right, so normally I would have turned my oven on first. It would have been hot by now, and we would have popped these into the oven. But since it's not, and here's another tip. If you wanna make these the night before and get them all set on your cookie sheet and put them in the fridge, you can bake them off first thing in the morning, and it saves you a lot of time. I'm gonna set these outside because it's really cold out while our oven gets hot. You wanna keep the butter cold. That's one of the keys to making a really good scone or a biscuit, is keeping that butter cold. So I'm gonna take these outside, I'm gonna set them on our picnic table. Hopefully the birds and stuff won't get them. And as soon as our oven is hot, I'll pop them in. Okay, come on, Denver. So we are waiting for the oven still to get hot. I'm gonna show you how to make the orange glaze that I drizzle on top. So I just need about 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And then enough orange juice to make a nice glaze. So probably start out with, I don't know, a couple teaspoons. You can always add, but you can't take away. That looks about right. All right, so we're just gonna set this aside and wait for our oven to get hot, and then we'll get those scones in the oven. So our oven just beeped, it's to temperature. I grabbed my scones from outside. It is freezing cold, let's get them in the oven. I'm gonna start at 15, and if we need more, we'll add more. So these are done. I'm gonna pull them, even though there's a little time left. Scones kind of have approximate time, and I'll show you. So I pull these open, I pull them out. They're nicely golden brown, but if you, ooh, they're so hot. If you can tell that they're done by poking them. All right, so now they're hot out of the oven. We got your glaze already. Mix it up a little more. That powdered sugar absorbs all that orange juice we put in there. It makes it a little thicker. I'm just gonna drizzle them over each one. Oh, we're losing the frosting load off that one. These look terrific. Let me get a plate. These are the best. Well, they're good anytime. They're really good right now. They're gonna be even better tomorrow when the orange and the cranberry flavors the whole thing. And one of my tricks, because there's only 2 of us now, when I had all the kids home, we'd probably annihilate these in no time. But I take them when they're cool and I wrap them individually in plastic wrap and pop them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. And then in the morning when I want one for breakfast, I take them out, I microwave it, and I have a hot scone again. So they do freeze really well. I'm just gonna eat this beautiful, nice big one. Make sure you have some tea or some coffee. You can see how it's nice puffed up on there. So good. These are gonna be really hot though. Usually they sit here for a second while I scramble eggs or something to go with them. But yeah, they're really hot. All right, this is cooled off for just a minute. If I can get, That's good. I love the wintry orange with the cranberry. It's so good. And I love that they're so tender, and yet they have a little bit of body to them. So I hope you guys try these. They're really so delicious to make for a special morning Sunday breakfast or Saturday, or make them head and wrap them up and put them in the freezer so you can have treats every morning. It's pretty great. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn the bell on for notifications. I sure appreciate you watching all my videos. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.
Okay, now remember your line.
The whole line?
The whole line. Okay, do it one more time, but don't go with your finger.
Oh, sorry. I always do that. I do that at work too because it's fun. All right, so I have 2 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar.
Don't pound it.
Sorry. So I have 2 cups of flour, 1/4. You're so mean.
2 cups of flour,
4 cups of
1/4 cup of this, and 1/2 cup of that. Oh, got it?
Gonna taste good, I know.